You just sent a text. It delivered instantly. Now what if that same text took 23 hours just to arrive? Right now, NASA is communicating with a machine so far away that even at the speed of light, a message takes nearly a full day to reach it. And then you wait another 23 hours for the reply. One conversation, 2 days. That machine is Voyager 1, launched in 1977. Still alive, still whispering from the edge of our solar system. So next time your Wi-Fi lags for 2 seconds, remember this, somewhere out there, scientists are waiting 46 hours for a single reply. Because that's exactly what communication looks like between Earth and Voyager 1 right now. And here's the part that should make you pause. Even that fragile connection is on the verge of disappearing forever. At this very moment, while you are watching this video, Voyager 1 is still speaking. Not loudly, but faintly, so faintly that by the time its signal reaches Earth, it is weaker than the energy required to power a single digital watch. And yet, we are still listening. But for how much longer? That's the question that quietly drives everything about Voyager 1 today. It's not just a story about distance. It's not just about engineering. It's about a race against silence itself. Because once Voyager 1 goes quiet, it will never speak again. To understand why that matters, you need to grasp just how far away it really is. Numbers alone don't do it justice. You can say over 15 billion miles, and your brain will nod politely, but it won't feel it. So let's try something else. Imagine you get into a car, a reliable one. You set your speed to 60 miles per hour. You never stop. No sleep, no traffic, no breakdowns, just an endless road stretching forward. How long would it take you to reach Voyager 1? Not years, not centuries. More than 27,000 years. That's longer than all of recorded human civilization, and Voyager 1 didn't take 27,000 years to get there. It's been traveling for less than 50. Here's where the story really begins. In 1977, the world was a very different place. No smartphones, no internet. Computers weren't something you carried, they were something you walked into. Entire rooms filled with humming machinery, blinking lights and less power than what you now carry in your pocket without thinking twice. And yet, in that world, a group of engineers and scientists made a decision that still feels almost unreasonable today. They decided to build something that would leave the solar system, not orbit it, not study it from afar, but leave it. The opportunity came from a rare cosmic alignment, a once-in-176-year configuration where the outer planets lined up just right. It meant a spacecraft could visit multiple planets using gravity alone, slingshotting from one giant to the next, like a stone skipping across water. It was called the Grand Tour, and Voyager 1 was one of the travelers. But here's the thing. This mission was never meant to last forever. It had a job: visit Jupiter, then Saturn. Take pictures, send data, maybe survive a few extra years if everything went perfectly. No one expected it to still be alive today. And yet, it is. Voyager 1 didn't just complete its mission, it escaped it. After its encounter with Saturn in 1980, something remarkable happened. Instead of slowing down, instead of fading into irrelevance, it kept going. Faster, farther, into a place no human-made object had ever been. Out past the planets, out past Pluto, out past the Kuiper Belt, and eventually to the very edge of the sun's influence. This boundary has a name: the Heliopause. It's where the solar wind, the invisible stream of charged particles flowing from the sun, finally loses its strength against the vast ocean of interstellar space. Cross that line, and you're no longer in the sun's domain. you're in the galaxy. In 2012, Voyager 1 crossed that boundary. For the first time in history, something built by human hands entered interstellar space. Pause for a second and think about that. Not a person, not a signal, a physical object, still moving, still functioning, still reporting back. But here's the question that no one asked loudly at the time. How long could it survive out there? Because interstellar space is not empty. It's not peaceful. It's not forgiving. It's cold beyond anything we experience on Earth, approaching absolute zero. It's filled with high-energy cosmic radiation that slowly damages electronics at the atomic level. There's no sunlight strong enough to power solar panels. No warmth, no protection. Voyager 1 is alone in a place that was never meant to support anything like it. And yet, it keeps going. Barely. To stay alive, Voyager 1 has had to make sacrifices. Imagine your body slowly shutting down, one function at a time, not because you're failing suddenly, but because you're choosing which parts of yourself you can afford to lose. That's Voyager 1. Over the years, engineers have turned off its cameras. The last images it ever took were in 1990, including the famous pale blue dot, where Earth appears as a tiny pixel suspended in a beam of sunlight. They turned off heaters, allowing parts of the spacecraft to freeze. They shut down scientific instruments, tools that had been collecting data for decades, just to conserve power. Each shutdown wasn't just technical. It was emotional, because every time they turned something off, they knew it would never come back on. And now, we're nearing the end. Voyager 1 is powered by a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, a device that converts heat from decaying plutonium-238 into electricity. But that heat is fading. Year by year, the power drops. Bit by bit, the spacecraft loses its ability to function. And here's the tension that defines everything. There will come a moment when it no longer has enough power to transmit a signal. Not because it crashed, not because it broke apart, but because it simply can't speak anymore. We almost reached that moment already. In late 2023, something went wrong. Voyager 1 started sending data, but it wasn't readable. It was noise, binary gibberish, meaningless patterns with no scientific value, no diagnostic clarity. It was like hearing a voice, but not understanding the words. For weeks, engineers didn't know what had happened. Was this it? Had Voyager 1 finally lost its mind? Here's where the story takes a turn that feels almost impossible. From billions of kilometers away, engineers diagnosed the problem, not by touching it, not by repairing it physically, but by listening. They discovered that a single memory chip had failed, corrupted by years of radiation. And because Voyager 1's system wasn't designed to handle that kind of failure, it had essentially lost part of its operating instructions. Think about that. A spacecraft older than most of the people working on it, damaged in a way no one planned for, floating in a place no human can reach. And they decided to fix it anyway. They rewrote its code, not all at once, but in pieces. They carefully restructured the software, moving sections of code into other parts of memory that were still functioning. It was like performing brain surgery on a patient 24 billion kilometers away, with a 23-hour delay between every step. Send a command, wait nearly a day, see what happens, then decide what to do next. Every decision mattered. Every instruction could have been the last. And then, after weeks of silence, Voyager 1 responded. Not perfectly, not fully, but enough. It was still there, still alive, still speaking. Why go through all that effort? Why fight so hard to keep a dying machine alive in the emptiness of space? Because Voyager 1 is not just a machine, it's a message. Inside it, there's something that changes everything about how you see this mission. A golden record, a literal record, gold-plated, carefully designed to survive for millions, maybe billions of years. On it are sounds of Earth, wind, thunder, footsteps, laughter, music from Bach to Chuck Berry, greetings in 55 languages, and diagrams, simple, universal instructions explaining who we are and where we came from. Voyager 1 is carrying a piece of humanity into the unknown, not to any specific destination, not to any known civilization, just out there, into the possibility that someday something might find it. But here's the part that gives the story its weight. Voyager 1 will almost certainly outlive us. Long after Earth changes, long after humanity evolves or disappears, long after the sun itself begins to die, Voyager 1 will still be traveling, silent, endless, a tiny artifact drifting through the Milky Way. And that brings us back to the present moment. Right now, Voyager 1 is still sending signals, still whispering across the void, still connected to us by the thinnest thread imaginable. But that thread is weakening. Sometime around 2030, or shortly after, the power will drop below the threshold needed to operate even its final transmitter. And when that happens, we will send a message. And nothing will come back. No delay, no distortion, just silence. So here's the real question, the one that sits underneath everything. What does it mean to build something that will outlast you, but eventually stop speaking to you? Voyager 1 is the farthest thing we've ever touched, and soon it will become unreachable, not in distance but in communication. It will still exist, it will still move, but it will no longer be part of our conversation. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful. Because Voyager 1 isn't just a scientific achievement, it's a reflection of who we are. A species that looks into the darkness and sends something anyway, not knowing if it will be found, not knowing if it will be understood, but sending it because we can't help ourselves. So the next time you press send on a message and it arrives instantly, without effort, without delay, think about Voyager 1. Think about that same message taking 2 days. Think about the silence in between and realize, somewhere, impossibly far away, a small, aging spacecraft is still trying to answer. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to support the channel, a subscribe or a like really helps. I'll see you in the next one.